And we're live. Some people enough time to come up in the room. I want to talk about some things. I want to talk about some things today in regards to the stuff that actually goes on in the streets. Um, our communities are under surveillance. We're still living. A lot of our youth. This video is for young black men today. A lot of young black men that still want to be in gangs, that still want to take part in gang violence. I'm talking to you guys, hopefully by the grace of the Most High, that my words can get out there into the ears of some of these young people where they can actually see what they're up against nowadays, what's coming up against them, because a lot of stuff is not being told to them. A lot of stuff is not being shown. Rashid, what's going on? I'm going to call you after the stream. There's a lot of things that's not being shown to these young guys. A lot of everybody was up in a frenzy when they saw Gunner from the YSL gang get on the stand and testify. I mean, well, not testify, but got on the stand. He took a plea. He got on the stand and said that his crew was a gang, and they start to see Young Thug's brother, and we're seeing all these sweeping indictments come across America. We're seeing all these things, but I'm seeing people talk about the gang violence and things that we should and shouldn't do, but there's certain things that's going on. Hold on a second. Let me bring this up on this side here real fast. Let me bring this up. There we go. There are certain elements and things that's going on. There's certain elements and things that's going on out here in these streets that's not being told to our kids. Last year, I did a live stream when FBG Duck was murdered. And when the investigation came out, the city of Chicago, they showed how they witnessed the murder caught on video. They had these young guys running out of the projects, getting into cars. They knew what blocks they drove up, how long it took them to get there. They got them on camera, getting to the scene of the crime, committing the murder, jumping back into their cars, driving back to the hideout. All that stuff is caught on surveillance, caught on video. They got cameras now where they can, infrared cameras where they can see that you got a gun on you. They have cameras that when you drive on a highway or the expressway, it's taking pictures of everybody's license plate and it's going into a database. They got names and numbers. They have everything. George, why are you saying all this? I'm saying all this because the urban criminal is obsolete. I've been telling you guys this for 2 years. It's been going on deaf ears. We don't get 800 people in the room to get the attention of the young people where I've been teaching this stuff, unfortunately. But I still have to teach it nonetheless. Now, in this live stream, I know for a fact that in this stream is not going to be monetized. Because when I did this stream 2 years ago, they didn't yellow it. They didn't green it. They didn't yellow it. They made it red. It wasn't monetized because I'm not allowed to come onto these spaces and teach the way that I teach. Me creating urban nerds and working with inner city youth. Me creating content every time I come live, trying to awaken that dead spirit in the minds of young black boys. So what I have to show today is how the urban criminal is obsolete and the way that they're going after gangs and taking gangs down. Not just through social media. See, you guys think that, oh, okay, I stay off social media. I don't run my mouth on social media. They don't see me. No, fam. They got cameras everywhere. They got cameras that can see inside your household when you're making love to your woman. They got cameras that can see inside your body. When you walk down the street today, Everything is under surveillance. They know and see everything. It's only a matter of time before they come get you. I told y'all a couple years back about the movie Demolition Man and how they had sensor hearing and cameras that when you cussed or you jaywalked or you did anything, they gave you a fine. It sees everything. In China, they're practicing that now. And America is coming. They have everything on the grid. We're in the automation age. Everything is on the grid. They see it all. And a lot of you guys, you know, you're spending your time in these social media spaces where you're arguing about women, you're arguing about men, and we're not talking about us losing our civil rights, our civil liberties. We're not talking about them creating catastrophes for us to voluntarily give our rights away. We're not talking about our right to privacy. We're not talking about them taking our privacy away. These things are not being discussed on any different level within the space of Black YouTube. None of it. We're watching the Atlanta DA come through with sweeping indictments. We just saw the TSF gang down in Houston. Indictment. There's indictments in Detroit, Chicago, Philadelphia. And I'm going to show today, there's sweeping indictments going across America right now. And the question that I'm asking is, outside of social media, how is the feds obtaining the information that they're gathering? And are you young people, are you guys aware of what's going on and what's to come? Because there's a lot, man. I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. I'm gonna show you guys something as just to warm you up. I'm gonna present something to you real fast. Check this out, right? Let me hit this. Present something to you real fast. I'm gonna share and then unshare. Just give you a little something. Just give you a little something so that way you can understand where I'm going today.
Sorry, on the left-hand side here, you see the alert screen. This is how the alerts are going to pop up on the feed. On the right-hand side, you see...
Hold on for a second. Hold on. Let me do this.
Sorry, on the left-hand side here, you see the alert screen. This is how the alerts are going to pop up on the feed. On the right-hand side, you see the video. We're going to go ahead and play the video. As soon as you see the gun, there it is. On the thermal image, you'll see a pop-up over here of a threat. There it is. We click on that. You'll notice it is labeled, and there's a threat right there. That's how the thermal works. It takes usually between 3 to 5 seconds for it to show up. If you have any questions, let us know. Thank you.
Hold on 1 second. It should have played. Make sure it's playing again. Let's play it one more time. Hold on. Hold on for a second. Let me reshare my screen for y'all. My bad. All right, y'all should be able to see this.
Sorry, on the left-hand side here, you see the alert screen. This is how the alerts are going to pop up on the feed. On the right-hand side, you see the video. We're going to go ahead and play the video. As soon as you see the gun, there it is. On the thermal image, you'll see a pop-up over here of a threat. There it is. We click on that. You'll notice it is labeled, and there's a threat right there. That's how the.
Now, what I'm saying is, in today's time, you still want to be a gang in a gang. You still want to gang bang. You still want to be connected to urban crime and all these different things. And what I'm saying, can you guys see it? Is my screen shared? Hold on. Can you guys see it in the chat? Am I at the right screen? Hold on. I keep wait. No. I'm not sharing it. My bad. I'm hitting the wrong screen. Hold on. I'm just talking. Hold on. I'm learning how to work both these screens. Wait a minute. I'm just running my mouth. Hold on. Let me fix this. All right. Yeah, my bad. Y'all ready to fix it now, Doug? Yeah. I'm running multiple screens. I'm over here messing up. Let me do this the right way. My bad, y'all. I'm still learning this too. I got to do it on this one. There we go. All right, let me make sure that I got it right. And now I'm gonna pull it up. All right. Here we go. Hold on, it should be following. All right, here we go, y'all. Here we go. My bad. All right, check this out, Doug.
Sorry, on the left-hand side here, you see the alert screen. This is how the alerts are going to pop up on the feed. On the right-hand side, you see the video. We're going to go ahead and play the video. As soon as you see the gun, there it is. On the thermal image, you'll see a pop-up over here of a threat. There it is. We click on that. You'll notice it is labeled, and there's a threat right there. That's how the thermal works.
Now, I'm going to tell you something, right? I'm going to tell you something in bringing this information, right? They're not going to monetize this because I'm not allowed to teach this kind of stuff. I'm not allowed to actually bring this information and talking to the people. I'm only supposed to video gossip and talk down about women or our own people. But when I show this image and I equate this to what's going on in Philadelphia, Chicago, and Memphis, this is how the feds now is coming in and locking up black people. They have cameras now that when you walking through the mall, because you strapped looking out for your op. When you driving in your car, they got cameras that can see through the metal or the hard plastic of your car door, and they can see that you have a gun. They got grids, man. Listen, this thing is way high tech. I keep telling you guys that the urban criminal is obsolete. This is not the 80s or the 90s when they needed corners to do. When they had drug corners doing 50,000 a day because they needed the drug epidemic to fund the war in Central and South America. When it was destabilizing those countries. They're not using the crack era is over. They gentrifying the hoods. We're going into automation in the demolition man era now. So now they pulling out all the stops. They have all the technology now to wipe you out.
Takes usually between 3 to 5 seconds for it to show up. If you have any questions, let us know. Thank you.
Let's go over here. Let's look at this. Check this out, right? Let's look at these.
Is a team of former Navy SEALs and military special operations veterans teamed up with elite technologists with a mission to save lives. We use your existing video cameras coupled with our artificial intelligence gun detection to prevent threats rather than react to them.
There's no better purpose right now and no more difficult problem to solve than mass shootings.
We go over the existing security cameras at a building, so on the interior and exterior, at entrances, exits, choke points, bottlenecks inside the hallways. So when a shooter walks up and they take out a weapon, Zero Eye system will pick that weapon up. And our military trained operation experts verify every detection before sending out alerts to local staff, security, and the local 911 center to get the alert to first responders.
It takes about 3 seconds from the time a gun enters the frame of a camera to the time an alert is sent.
So now they know what the shooter looks like.
Now I want to pause it for a minute. He said it takes about 3 seconds before a gun enters the camera. But if you notice, Doug, I showed you guys that they already have cameras that can detect that you got the gun before you even pull it out. So what I'm telling you is, when you get out your car or driving in your car, they already know that you got a gun. They're already going through the system that they're showing you now, so you're already done. It's over. They're only letting you kill they're letting blacks kill themselves now to bring the property value down in the areas you live in so they can come into those areas and re-gentrify it for cheap. That's it. They already got the technology. They had this technology for 30 years. But nobody's telling the youth this. All they did was give you the cell phones and let you tell on yourself, but they already got the technology. They got you hook, line, and sinker. And I'm going to prove it to you in a minute.
What type of weapon they have,
You have an armed subject in the southwest hall.
how many there are, and what was their last known location.
First responders on scene have access to this information before shots are fired. That will allow them to go directly to the shooter and prevent more violence from occurring.
I hear this, right?
Drop your weapon now. Drop the gun. Drop the gun.
So we could really decrease response times and save lives.
Turn around.
So we want to stop threats at first sight, not first shot.
Mass shootings are devastating. Current alternatives are reactive. We need a proactive solution that mitigates gun violence, provides actionable intelligence, reduces response time, ultimately saving lives, while at the same time respecting our privacy and rights. Zero Eyes is that solution. Save time.
Let's go over here before I get back into more videos. Let me go here. I want to bring it into the hood. I want to bring this into the hood, right? Now, y'all remember this article from earlier this year, from January. Now, I did a live stream on this. Back in January at the top of the year, right? And I was telling you guys how they had everything on camera, right? So it says 15 seconds of Gold Coast mayhem. FBI affidavits lift curtain on FBG Duck's murder case, right? And I'm not going to get it, or I'll read some of it. It says the broad daylight Gold Coast murder case of rapper FBG Duck in August 2020 involved 4 mass shooters who left 38 bullet casings behind following an attack that lasted all of 15 seconds, according to the newly unsealed federal court records. Much of what happened that day at the murder scene on Oak and elsewhere as the gunman neared was captured on video, according to a 45-page document, which includes an FBI affidavit. It lays out key evidence that led to last year's indictment against 5 alleged O Block gang members now accused of the brazen killing. And it's telling you that this stuff was on video. And the shooting wasn't just on video by a surveillance camera. They got these guys, driving in a car all the way to commit the murder, driving back. I mean, they got them on the streets. They know what streets they was riding down. It says investigators told a car used in the shooting one day after it happened. Later searched it and found evidence that implicated Charles C. Murder Loggins. So watch this, right? Let me go down. Around the time surveillance footage showed Loggins, Smart, and others running down a stairway at Parkway Gardens at 63rd and Martin Luther King Drive, according to the affidavit. It says Smart and another person got into a Ford Fusion owned by Alford. The FBI believed Loggins got into the Chrysler 300 with 2 others. Now you got these, my goodness, man. You got these gang members. They this is the place where they stay at. The FBI got these guys on camera running with guns to go commit a murder. Now, if this was 30 years ago, that wouldn't have happened. The police used to have to come out and go door to door, walk out with a notepad and pen and ask questions and rely on the public for who did something. Those days are long gone. Long gone. You have modern day children trying to do old school criminality that don't work because these police officers and the feds got modern technology. So what they did was do an old school Chicago shooting that does not work against modern technology. So when I do these streams and I'm trying to wake up these young people and tell them, yo, that ain't the way, fam. They got everything under surveillance. They got you. All that stuff is seen. There's that criminality, the old school, there's no more corners doing 40,000 a day. And if it is, the feds is all over it. They got cameras, they got facial recognition. They can see your tattoos from under your clothes. They got everything. Everything. So let's look. From there, investigators were able to trace the vehicle's path from Parkway Gardens to the scene of the murder using video surveillance and police POD cameras. Around the time Wheatley got out the car on Oak Streets, the feds say the Fusion and the Chrysler were seen traveling in the same direction on the 6200 block of South Wentworth, just 5 seconds apart. All of this is caught on camera. You new school gangsters, you thugs, you real niggas, you demons on demon time. They see it all. The vehicles were spotted on camera in at least 7 additional locations. Game over. Doug, game over. It's ball game after that. It's no way in the world that I can indulge in criminal activity at my age knowing that I'm up against this type of technology. So as the big homie, instead of doing 1,000 live streams on Gunna and Young Thug, I'll have 31 people in here because I'll do a live stream trying to bring attention to you young guys that when you outside with your guns and you on parole and you flagging your gun in the air, all they got to do is put your name in the database, go to the area where you may be at, look at those cameras in the database, see you with a gun and violate you. It's over. But these other people ain't going to do these type of streams for you. Because I know that a lot of you young people, you don't understand the law like that. You don't understand what you up against until you get locked up and you get in that courtroom. And some of you guys still don't even understand. They're not telling you. You think if these young people knew all this technology was out there, they would have went and did that type of shooting like that brazen? No, they wouldn't have done it. They're not that stupid. They do stupid stuff, but they're not that stupid. They wouldn't have did this. They wouldn't have did this. So when we think that these kids are on it, they're not studying this. That's why the algorithm don't put me out there like that, because they know that I do urban nerds and I love the children and I want to work with the minds of the children. I'm not, this video should be in the algorithm in Black YouTube for all of us to watch and check. But the algorithm, this is not going to be, I'm telling you right now, no matter even if I put fair use, they're going to come after this type of stuff. So the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying right now is the reason why a lot of Black YouTubers don't present this information, because there's no money in presenting it. There's no cash apps in presenting this. There's no PayPal money for presenting this. Nobody's going to cash app or super chat for presenting this information. But this information is very vital to the Black community. And because it's not profitable, because YouTube and social media has made this information not profitable, Black YouTubers won't present this to young men to let them know what's going on. You can't monetize this. So I would like cash apps and PayPals and whatever they do for you to get money. But this type of live stream ain't for the money. It's to save some of these young guys from crashing out and killing themselves or throwing their life away because you think that you're going to go do a drive-by real quick because you a real nigga, not realizing that you already caught, bro. You caught from the time you left outside your house, family. And I'm going to prove my point. The document then lays out what happened at 4:26 p.m. in the first block of East Oak Street. The Fusion and Chrysler stopped just in front of the dark-colored sedan that had been driven by Wheatley's girlfriend. Two people jumped out of the passenger side of the Fusion and opened fire at Wheatley, who ducked behind another with another person ducked behind his girlfriend's car. Two people then also got out of the passenger side of the Chrysler. One, the front passenger, opened fire on Wheatley's girlfriend, while the other fired at Wheatley. The shooters then got back in the Fusion and Chrysler and fled, according to the affidavit. It said Wheatley's girlfriend was shot twice in the left wrist. The person who ducked behind the car with Wheatley was shot 3 times and left in critical condition, according to the feds. Wheatley died shortly after the shooting, the feds say, but it's unclear how many times he was shot. The FBI, watch this, y'all. The FBI agent who authored the affidavit wrote that Wheatley was shot approximately 21 times. But the agent also cited at Cook County Medical Examiner that Wheatley was shot 16 times. Damn. 38, they had him direct. 38 cartridge casings was found at the scene, including a .357 caliber casing. Now watch this, y'all. Meanwhile, the Chrysler was then spotted on police cameras in 8 additional locations before surveillance video showed it returning to Parkway Gardens. Listen, man, I'm asking all you YouTubers like Hassan Campbell, my young brothers, King AK-47, my young brother Seti Nash. Could you guys do more streams like this? I don't get the audience to wake up the people, but you guys do. If this reaches you guys, could you guys do, and just, it's not always for the love of the money. It's to tell our people, listen, man, you guys are already done. They got you already. They have everything on surveillance. That life that you've been promoting in your music is over. It's done. They don't need you no more. They criminalizing all of that. And they're allowing you to do it to yourself. Videos showed them in 8 additional locations. That means that and that's what I'm saying, we do this, we get 40 and then the people leave. So if you guys can share this out maybe to those guys, and maybe those guys can do it, and they get 2,000 and 3,000 people in the room of our people, and they can get this information. If you guys can help me reach the masses of our people. So meanwhile, the Chrysler was then spotted on police cameras in 8 additional locations before surveillance video showed it returning to Parkway Gardens at 4:56. The video showed Liggins getting out of the passenger seat. So what I'm saying is, these guys ain't even gonna have a trial. They're done. They're done. There is no reasonable doubt or none of this stuff. You are participating in old urban crime with new modern technology. It don't go together. It's kind of like what you hear on YouTube, the old traditional black people versus the modern woman and modern man. It don't go together. The FBI wrote that investigators also found a .357, but I don't really want to get into the case. I want to really deal with more how they were caught on surveillance. So I want to really put emphasis on this, right? It says that meanwhile, the Chrysler was then spotted on police cameras in 8 additional locations before surveillance video showed it returning to Parkway Gardens. So we know the surveillance video showed them leaving with the guns, showed them getting in the car, driving in 7 different locations to the place, on camera during the shooting, jumping back into the vehicles, showed them in 8 additional locations driving back to the hideout, getting out the car with the guns. Then they came and got the car, found .357 shell casings. They got all that. So the game is checkmated, right? So now that was earlier in the year, right? And you're not going to get streams like this. People are doing streams on the aftermath. This is what they're doing streams on. This is what people are doing streams on.
That will get your attention. A disorienting flashbang, a visit from ATF agents busting up gang activity on Detroit's west side at 6 a.m. But before this and this, methodical work goes into these operations by elite agents out of the ATF Special Operations Division on loan to Detroit. This crew of several dozen seasoned, experienced with an average age in the mid-40s.
I always worry about our crew, and you know, I'm a father too, so maybe it's a little bit of a father instinct.
That's Special Agent in Charge Paul Vanderplow, the current head of the Detroit Field Division and formerly the chief of one of 5 specially trained teams across the country, running more than 200 similar ops each year. Anonymity key with our cameras around. Myself and photojournalist Todd Brangan joined this 4:15 a.m. roll call at an undisclosed location. Months of planning got them here. A coordinated dance with other agencies, 5 search warrants executed simultaneously across Detroit. They're working to dismantle gang activity, affiliates of the Omerta Boys and Purple Heart, specifically alleged gun crimes by 23-year-old Trayvon Mathis, who got out of prison in 2021 for assault with intent to do great bodily harm and gun charges. Vanderplow says Mathis is once again in the gun game and hiding in plain sight, posting photos of himself with guns on Instagram, even using the word trigger in his handle and taunting in a screenshot of a video rapping to the camera, quote, "The feds are coming." Well, they did.
As we pull up here, it will be very noise discipline will be adhered to. It will be relatively quiet. You will see getting 25 individuals up to a door, how quiet they can be.
We rode along as the team in unison heads to the house off Prevost near Margarita on Detroit's west side. Each agent carrying about $30,000 worth of equipment to keep them safe. And yes, the sun.
Let me pause it there. When I was out in the street 30 years ago, they didn't have this type. They wasn't displaying this type of technology to come get you. Nor do we have social media or cell phones like that to post all of our criminal activity. But outside of that, they have the technology now where they can actually they're not just tapping your cell phones like they used to. They're not doing none of that. They're sitting back there with infrared cameras where they can pinpoint the house where you at, and they can see into those homes. They already got the information. They already know. It's more to just put this stuff on social media, family. It's more to it than that. Let me move over. Hold on a second. Let's look at what they're doing. All this is what I'm showing you guys now is all cases that's happening this week. There is sweeping indictments going across America right now. You guys, you need to keep your ear to the ground. You look at the federal database on gangs. There's sweeping indictments in cities going across America right now, from Chicago down to Atlanta, down up to Memphis, Miami, Houston. They are indicting gangs everywhere right now. It's not being highly promoted, but I watch this kind of stuff. I keep my ear to the ground, and then I study the technology and what they're doing. So now they're in Baltimore. All of this stuff happened in the last 2 days, y'all. 3 days.
A recent spike in ride-shared carjackings and robberies like the one at Horseshoe a couple weeks ago has gotten the attention of federal agents. And tomorrow, the FBI will join the BPD to hold a briefing on the surge right here in Baltimore.
Feds are also cracking down on gang activity in the city. A Baltimore man who gained notoriety after beating nearly a dozen attempted murder charges has been named in a federal indictment that targets one of the most dangerous gangs in the city.
Alexa Ashwell has details on the crimes he's accused of committing and the message leaders are hoping to send.
This indictment names 6 people allegedly associated with the Black Guerrilla family gang. One of them, David Warren, in this described.
She's inside a video surveillance room while she's talking to you right now. I've been here for 6 years on here talking like this, man. And I just wish that some of you guys can get it. They got you to voluntarily incriminate yourself on video while they video you with their technology, and then they just come get them, Alexis. They come take you right out. Let's listen. Let's just watch them break it down.
As a contract killer. This newly unsealed federal indictment charging 6 men associated with the notorious Black Guerrilla Family gang includes Baltimore rapper YGG Tay, or Devontae Harrison, and David Warren, who gained notoriety after beating nearly a dozen attempted murder charges beginning at the age of 14.
I pull up, I hop out, I put this to test. I'm going for headshots.
David Warren has quite a reputation.
Back in 2020, Warren was the focus of a crime and justice report. Then a father,
when he died, part of me died with him,
opened up about the murder of his son, Brian McKemmy, back in 2018, an innocent construction worker caught in the crossfire of what investigators said was an ordered hit on a member of a rival organization.
My son was on the back porch putting aluminum trim around a sliding glass door. These 2 guys start shooting at the house. The owner of the house is in the house shooting back. My son's hit 3 times and died right on that porch.
Warren was later arrested after investigators say he was found to be in possession of the gun that killed McKemmy. But no one has been charged with his murder until now. This federal indictment details it was Harrison who ordered the hit, Warren and another defendant, Wayne Prince, who attempted to carry out the murder, and Prince and an unindicted co-conspirator who instead murdered McKemmy. In all, this federal indictment now connecting Warren to nearly a dozen attempted murders and 3 murders, also including the 2018 shooting deaths of the mother and sister of a targeted rival. The women, investigators say, gunned down inside of their home when he couldn't be found.
The Black Guerrilla Family is singularly the most.
I want to pause this, right? Because this part is important. What's being said across right now, all across Black YouTube right now, is everybody's talking about the YSL indictment, right? But they're not telling you about the indictments in Detroit. There's a couple. Everything is happening right now in Detroit. They just hit these guys in Baltimore a couple days ago. 2 days ago, they just hit Philadelphia. I'm going to show you. They're hitting all across America right now, and they're using this technology to bring these guys down. But it's not being told. And because it's not being told, because the white men tell Black YouTube what to talk about and what not to talk about. So because it's not being shown, Black people don't care because they can't get paid off of it. But I got to do these type of streams because I want you young people to understand what you up against, man. You want to be in the Black Guerrilla Family? They got everything on video, man, to the point where they bring these guys in. Hey, Doug, they bring these guys in. They start showing surveillance. Oh, yo, this was you back in 2000. We got you. We just waited for 2 years to come get you because we knew that in the next 2 years, you did this, that, and the third. Them dudes start telling everything because there is no now. What I'm saying to you guys, there is no now defense on spending $50,000 on a lawyer to get you out. They got you on video. You thought you got away with it. I'm gonna prove my point again.
Significant threat to public safety in Baltimore for the past decade or longer.
Years of violence and a city struggling to stop it. With this federal indictment, hope for justice, peace, and a strong message to criminals.
When they come in with the heavy hammer of a federal judge and federal sentencing guidelines, you know that that's going to send a clear signal that this violence is not going to be tolerated.
All 6.
Well, the reason why he just made that statement is, I got to teach it this way. They're going to come in with heavy federal guidelines and heavy sentencing with the technology because they don't need the urban criminal no more. Young people, listen to me. Wanting to be in a gang like your big brother, like your daddy was, like your mama was, wanting to be part of a crew, please, no. That's obsolete now. They promoted that in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s during the industrial age when they needed bodies for prison, to work in factories. We're going into the technological age now. They don't need you to make babies. They don't need the ghettos like they used to. They're going to make new ghettos. The old form of the old world is done. They're wiping that out. You're still trying to participate in old world crimes with new technology. It doesn't work.
Defendants are currently in custody, including Harrison and Warren. Warren is currently serving a state sentence for assault and gun-related charges. Alexa Ashwell.
Let's go over to the next. I'm showing you. I'm going city to city. Matter of fact, let me go here first. This was just yesterday. Everybody's talking about this.
Criminal case against Atlanta rapper and alleged gang leader Young Thug continues. Nearly 24 other defendants now are heading toward a trial. A handful of people have now taken plea deals. The latest came this afternoon when Young Thug's own brother pleaded guilty. Joe Hankey has been following this case and has a look at who has cut deals with prosecutors so far.
Well, Jeff Quantavius Greer entered his guilty plea today ahead of a trial for a case that is scheduled to go to trial next month. Greer avoided prison by taking a deal, but he cannot have any contact now with Jeffrey Williams, his brother, better known as Young Thug. The dominoes are starting to fall, and the court case focused on Young Thug, an accused leader of Young Slime Life, or YSL. Prosecutors say it's a criminal street gang. Defense attorneys have called it a record label. Last week, Sergio Kitchens, better known as rapper Gunna, took the first plea deal, followed by Walter Murphy, an alleged YSL co-founder. Then Woonie Lee, rapper Slime Life Shoddy, and Martinez Arnold, rap name Little Duke, cut deals. Now today, Quantavius Greer, or rapper
That boy name was Quantavius. Jesus Christ. God help our people, man. Quantavius. Listen, man. Why do you think a lot of these guys is taking deals? The lawyers is having the conversations. The days of making deals is yes. These is the last days of them giving you deals because they ready to just start warehousing dudes. Look at these boys, though, y'all. Look, I got 50 people watching. I want y'all to look at these boys. These are all boys. Look at this. Look at Walter Murphy. This is a boy. Look at Slime Life. These are boys. Their lives are derailed before they even get a chance to even become anything. But they're doing away with this way of thinking. They're doing away with this. I showed you guys. I always tie it all together. I showed you guys what the World Health Organization is doing, and the 2030 plan. What the 2030 plan is ushering. Yeah, 10 simple name. What the 2030 plan is ushering in. Let me see something real quick I want to show you guys something because I like to teach the right way. Hold on. 2030 plan. Oops. I wrote plain. Hold on. My fault. Watch this. I want y'all to see this. You guys, when we breaking this stuff down, you guys have to read this stuff. We cannot be having conversations about reparations, about the Black community and how we operate when you're not reading what they have planned for you guys. The 2030 agenda envisions a secure world free of poverty, hunger, with full and protective employment, access to quality education, universal health coverage, the achievement of gender equality, that's your LGBT, the achievement of gender equality, that's your LGBT, and empowerment of all women and girls. That's what you see in your movies and on TV. Empowerment of all women and girls. So if people are not teaching you what their plans are, so now when you are disgruntled about things that's happening in the society, but you're not doing your due diligence to do your job to figure out what is the government pushing. This is a global agenda by the World Health Organization. By the WHO? The 2030 plan. So when you see it says this, right? So now let me go out of this, right? Transforming the UN agenda. Let me see if I can find them. I want to throw this in there first. I just want to throw this in there so I can get back to where I'm going with what I'm saying. This is your agenda. For people, we are determined to end poverty, hunger in all forms and dimensions, and to ensure that all human beings can fulfill their potential and dignity and equality in a healthy environment. Well, with that being done, they're promoting demolition man. They're promoting an environment of the illusion of peace and prosperity. We are determined to ensure that all human beings can enjoy prosperous and fulfilling lives, and that economic, social, and technological progress occurs in harmony. We are determined to foster peaceful, just, and inclusive societies. Just and inclusive societies. No more hoods and ghettos. No more of this real nigga shit. They wiping all that out, which are free from fear and violence. There can be no sustainable development without peace, and no peace without sustainable development. I'll read more, but I wanted to just go there. Hold on. Oh shit. Wait a minute. Hold on for a second. I did it wrong. Let me do this real quick. Let me bring this over. I want you guys to see this. I want to go back first. I want you guys to see this. This is what's happening in your inner city ghettos. I got 53 people watching. I got to teach this the right way. I got to teach this the way the Most High is telling me to teach. Now, when you see these gangs being indicted and you see your communities being gentrified, you see the rise of the LGBT community, trans rights, and you see them empowering women in movies to the point where they devaluing men. Let me explain this to you. Let me show this to you. The 2030 agenda, the 2030, you see, government of Canada, right? And this is a world government, right? The 2030 agenda envisions a secure world free of poverty and hunger, with full and productive employment, access to quality education, and universal health coverage, the achievement of gender equality, and empowerment of all women and girls, and an environment and an end to environmental degradation. Now, we go down here. I got to put this in, throw this in first to get back to what I was showing you guys. Then you get here, right? It says, and it's transforming the world, the 2030 agenda for sustainable development. Now, George, why are you teaching this? Again, you have to understand why they're gentrifying you and they're breaking down the old world and ushering the new world. They're changing the way that you think, and you have to know where did this come from. This is the United Nations, not George Macon. Again, there's no money in providing this kind of information to people. There's no money in this. So Black YouTube is not going to explain this. Only certain people. So when you're disgruntled and you don't understand what's happening, I am showing you today where the talking points and the thought process comes from. People, we are determined to end poverty and hunger in all forms and dimensions, and to ensure that all human beings can fulfill the potential of dignity and equality in a healthy environment. Prosperity. We are determined to ensure that all humans beings can enjoy prosperous and fulfilling lives at the economic, social, technological progress occurs. Peace. We are determined to foster peaceful, just, and inclusive societies. There you go. Which are free from violence. There can be no sustainable development without peace. Y'all better listen to what's going on in your hood, you young people. You on demon time. The world government ain't on that. The world government is coming after Negroes on niggas on demon time. They coming for you. Everything is under surveillance now. We don't need that old world Neanderthal way of thinking. I'm telling y'all. I've been telling y'all this for 5 years. Why you think I don't have a following? Why you think I'm not in the algorithm? I've been saying this. There's no money in this. And the very information that there's no money in, that people don't want to click on to, is what you need to be paying attention to. Who in Black YouTube is talking about the 2030 plan and showing you what they're doing? Show them to me. This is the United Nations plan. We already see the rise of the LGBT and their power, and what the women is doing, and what they and how they creating disillusions in women to believe that they can do all these things that men do. We already see the way that they're breaking the genders down. Let's look. We went from 55 to 50. That's what I'm talking about. Why don't we go from 55 to 70 with this kind of information? But again, I'm telling you that our people are not conditioned to want to listen to this kind of stuff until it's too late. But I'm going to keep doing this all the time. I'm not coming with nothing different. I'm going to keep saying this until I know our people are ready to listen. Partnerships. We are determined to mobilize the means required to implement the agenda through a revitalized global partnerships for sustainable development based on a spirit of strengthened global solidarity, focused particularly on the needs of the poorest and most vulnerable people with the participation of all countries, all stakeholders, and all people. So I put that part in. I put these parts in, right? I add that in. Let me move that back over there. I add that back over there to give you a brief illustration as to what you up against with and why they're coming after you today, and why they're gentrifying your hoods, and why they're dismantling the genders and all the aspects of life that was normalized to you. So let's listen to some more of what they're doing with these kids.
Funk entered a guilty plea. All 5 have been sentenced to between 9 and 10 years on probation. They will also have to testify at the YSL trial if attorneys on either side ask them to.
The Fifth Amendment says I am not going to testify because I refuse to incriminate myself. You can do that.
Daryl Cohen is a prosecutor turned defense attorney. He's not involved in the YSL case, but is following it closely. If Gunna, Greer, or any of the others to take plea deals are called to testify, he says they can only use the Fifth Amendment to avoid certain questions, meaning they could offer valuable testimony.
But you cannot take the Fifth when it comes to testimony towards someone else or some other people that were involved in a crime.
Young Thug is charged with violating the state's RICO Act along with criminal street gang and firearms crimes. Other defendants face those same crimes, while a few are charged with murder and attempted murder. Cohen says with each guilty plea, remaining defendants might start becoming nervous.
More of a possibility that people are going to testify against me, and it may not just be one person, maybe 2 or 3 or 4. But on the other hand, I would use it and say, yeah, they pled guilty because they are guilty. We're pleading not guilty because we're not.
And here is a look at the plea deal taken by Young Thug's brother, Quantavious Greer. He'll have to serve 10 years probation, complete 750 hours of community service, testify if called upon, cannot possess any guns, and will have a curfew to follow. And as we mentioned, cannot have contact except through attorneys with any other defendants in this case. It includes his brother, Young Thug. Now, jury selection is set to begin for this case the first week of January. Jeff?
Now, look. Now, you see that, right? Now, I want to go over here. I want to go over to where how they actually catching the young guys that actually killed one of my friend's son last July, right? They caught up to these guys. Philadelphia is rife with young gangs. Young gangs is running all over the place. Now I'm playing these videos to get back to the surveillance part. Young gangs, Philadelphia is rife with young street gangs. They shooting up everything, man. I mean, tearing it all up, man. It's over 500 and something homicides, right? They tearing up everything. Now, remember I told y'all, these drug busts, these gang busts, sweeping gang busts across America is all happening in the last 3 days. All in the last 3 days. But it's not being highly publicized. They're not telling you. You have to go and do the work and do the information. I'm showing everything that I'm showing you now is happening in the last 3 days.
Year and a half after a young Philadelphia store owner was shot and killed at a 4th of July barbecue, police arrest the suspected shooters during a major gang bust. 5 accused members are now arrested, but there's a search for 3 others. Matt Petrillo has more from police headquarters tonight.
Well, as police continue to search for those suspects, the mother of that young store owner tells me she has a message to those law enforcement officers who made those arrests.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Me and her grew up together. This is my homegirl right here, man. I know her when she was a young girl, man. They killed her son, Shakar Jr., man. That was my homeboy's son, man, Shakar Sr. He owned the store, man. They came with machine guns, man. 5 of them, open fire, man, on his birthday, at his party, man. Shakar got killed in front of his parents, bro. Him and another boy, man. But Wilson.
Thank you, because so many days that I thought that they gave up. And they didn't.
Pamela Owensby burst into tears after learning her son's alleged killers have been caught.
It's been a long, long time coming.
Her son, Shakar Johnson, was 23 years old when he was killed while hosting a July 4th barbecue party outside his clothing store in West Philly back in 2021. A security camera captured the horrifying moments gunmen fired more than 100 shots along 60th and Sansom Streets. Police say Johnson was killed instantly, but arrests have now been made.
And they are facing a vigorous and just prosecution.
Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner announced Monday those behind Johnson's murder and other shootings were part of a gang called 024. Those alleged gang members include 20-year-old Anthony Lacey Woodson and 21-year-old Jalen Mickens, who each face murder charges. Police also accused Tyheed Cooper, Kimberly.
Now, I'm going to tell you something, right? These gangs right here in West Philly, they gunning each other down. I'm talking about, man, I do these videos with my son, and my son stays upset with me because I don't even let my son go around the corner to the store. Because where I live at, these guys live up the street from me. 024 gang is directly up the street. I'm on 64th Street. They on 64th Street too. They 2 blocks up on Collar Hill. And they're at war with the Lansdowne Avenue boys. And you have from there, from where we at to my son's school is about 12 blocks. But it's about 7 to 8 other gangs all at war with each other, all making music, all gunning each other down. But what they don't realize is, I'm gonna show you guys something. Let's backtrack for a minute. Let's back up. Let's go right here. You guys see this right here? These guys, you see those blue lights? These guys are shooting those machine guns with switches. They shot over 100 rounds, right? Now I want you guys to analyze something. In the chat room, my people in the chat room. In this image, what do you see in this image? Somebody in the chat room, tell me what's going on in this image right now. I'm gonna wait. I got 60 people watching. I want somebody in my chat room to tell me, what are you seeing right now? Somebody tell me what you're seeing. I'm gonna see if somebody get it right. Somebody tell me what you're witnessing right now. Somebody tell me. Somebody write in the chat room right now and tell George Macon, what are you witnessing right now? Because I know what I see. Somebody said a shootout. Okay. We see a shootout. Somebody said, I think it's a robbery. Okay. What else? 2 more people. Tell me what you see. I'm going to tell you what's happening here. Uh-oh. There you go, T-Max. They are being surveilled. But these young dummies don't know it. They don't know it. They jumped out of a minivan, ran to the corner with machine guns and opened fire on a crowd of about 200 people. instantly killing my homeboy's son in front of his parents and another boy. It happened 1.5 years ago. But the gang was constantly at war with another gang, and they have surveillance video now of these young men They have surveillance video of these young men committing multiple crimes on video. And I'm telling you guys, that the urban criminal, because what you saw in that image of them shooting up blocks is what they was doing in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, early 2000s. But the technology that they got for today, Deadshot, doesn't go together with the old school crimes. The technology. Let me see something real quick. Let me see if I can pull. Give me a second. Let me see. Let me see if I can pull this up. For July. Party in Philadelphia. Let me see. I want to see if I can pull up the actual video of this. Let's see. All right, now hold on. Now watch this, right? Let's see if we can pull this up.
Released dramatic new video of a 4th of July shooting that left 2 dead. Police say just after 10:30 p.m., 4 men with handguns arrived on the unit block of North 60th Street in West Philadelphia in a dark gray colored sedan. The men then got out, opened fire, striking 2 men and 2 women. Then they got back in the car and fled the scene. A 21-year-old man and 60th Street in West Philadelphia in a dark gray colored sedan.
Listen
the
to them
men then
guns.
got out, opened fire, striking 2 men and
Now you see those blue lights? Move this back over here. Move this back over here. Let me see something real quick. See if I can go back. See if I can pull up a better one.
NBC 10's Randy Gyllenhaal is following the story for us live this morning near 60th and Chestnut Street. So, Randy, there are so many evidence markers out there that they ran out at one point, right?
Yes, so this is a massive crime scene. Police say somebody began wildly shooting on this block here in West Philadelphia near 60th and
Somebody just decided to shoot into a crowd of a bunch of kids. People started running. There was fireworks. When you got fireworks and gunshots at the same time.
Yeah, rapid gunfire mixed with those fireworks. Hard to know where the shooting was coming from. And so many evidence markers, Philly police using more than 100 of them. They actually ran out, had to improvise. Some were
known in my life. He's everything I wish I would have been.
Now, watch this, right?
Son is the greatest person other than my grandmama and my grandpa I've ever known in my life. He's everything.
Now, this is one of my partners that I grew up with. We grew up in the streets, getting in all kinds of stuff, going back and forth to prison and everything. And to watch his son, which was a junior, his son was murdered in front of him. This is one of my day one homeboys, right? When I show these videos, what I'm trying to express to you guys is, see how they got all these images now 1.5 years later? They have video surveillance and cameras of these guys driving to the scene, committing the crimes, then driving away. Then the young kids, they get on social media and they talk about the criminal activity that they partake in. These is 20-year-olds, man. They get them out of they take them off the streets very early. These are young kids, man. Young kids. Let's look.
Fired more than 100 shots along 60th and Sansom Streets. Police say Johnson was killed instantly, but arrests have now been made.
And they are facing a vigorous and just prosecution.
Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner announced Monday those behind Johnson.
Now, what I'm trying to explain to you in this live stream is they have all the technology. They work in conjunction with the FBI and the state work together because they're tearing these cities down. Now let me teach you something. 35 years ago, New York was averaging 2,000 homicides a year. New York now don't even get 500 homicides a year. Brooklyn alone used to have 700 to 800 homicides just in that borough alone. The Bronx used to get 500 to 600 homicides. Homicides have plummeted in New York and California and Los Angeles because of the video surveillance. They have cameras everywhere. And what you guys need to understand and know that the first thing they did was break down Los Angeles and New York City. If we can break down Los Angeles and New York City, we can break down all the cities across America. We need to know that we can use this technology first on New York City. So they went to work on New York City and they went to work on Los Angeles. And they brought the Los Angeles was having over 2,000 homicides, 1,000 homicides just in LA alone, and then another 1,000 in LA County. So they brought the murder rates down in Los Angeles and in New York City, and now they're using these as templates and models to do it in the other cities. So now I keep telling you guys with the technology that they have. So let's listen to some more. Then we're gonna get into the technology. Back into the technology.
His murder and other shootings were part of a gang called 0-2-4. Those alleged gang members include 20-year-old Anthony Lacey Woodson and 21-year-old Jalen Mickens, who each face murder charges. Police also accused Tyheed Cooper, Kimberly Johnson, and Fabian Creary with criminal conspiracy and other crimes.
Right now, as we sit here, they're sitting in jail cells.
Authorities are still searching for Calvin Gatewood, Nazir Wells, and Amir Johnson. And police also tell us Sarkar Johnson and the other victims in that shooting had no affiliation to the gang targeted by the 0-4 gang. Outside Philadelphia Police Headquarters, Matt Petrillo.
Now, y'all remember, I did a stream for my hardcore, for people that really watch me. Y'all remember I did a stream where the DA, Larry Krasner, said that we are coming after you. He named all the gangs by name. Well, this is what they've been using when they said they're coming after you.
A recent report estimates about 1 billion security cameras rolling worldwide, 18% of them here in the United States, like at this ATM. Every time you do your banking, you're caught on camera. But you don't have to be using a service like that in order to be caught on camera. In fact, just walking down the street, you can be captured on closed circuit TV. The U.S. is second only to China when it comes to keeping eyes on its citizens. Make no mistake, Big Brother is watching. According to safety.com, the average American is caught on camera 238 times each week.
Wow. It surprises me. And
did you just hear what he said, Doug? The average person is caught on camera 238 times each week. How the hell you think you're going to get away with doing crime? They're going to catch you. They're going to catch you. So when you say my AK spray all day, I'm on demon time because you talking the way we talked in 1993. 1993 crime doesn't work for 2022. It's over. It's over. I need my brothers, my big YouTubers. Could y'all do streams like this, please, to talk to these young people? Because you guys get 1,000 and 2,000 and 4,000 people in the room. Could y'all just not make it about the money just for one stream and just do these type of streams to teach these young guys, to explain to them? Because maybe they might not listen to the big homie. The big homie, I might be hating. That's what they might think.
And it feels a bit weird to think about that.
Concerning it all?
No,
I just think it keeps people safer than it doesn't. And if you don't want to be doing something that shouldn't be recorded, don't do it.
Here's how those 238 camera views rack up. Cameras capture you at home or in your neighborhood 14 times a week, 160 times behind the wheel. While you're working, candid cameras catch you 40 times, maybe more if you're in retail, travel, or high security industries, and 24 times a week while shopping or running errands.
I mean, I don't like it, but I don't know if it surprises me. But yeah, not a great thing to know.
Jay Stanley is a senior policy analyst with the ACLU.
We're seeing a very rapid increase in the amount of public cameras that Americans are subject to. Right now, we have about 15 cameras for every 100 people in America, about 50 million cameras. And that's more per capita than any other country in the world, even China. I mean, the basic concern is that we're going to lose our privacy and we're going to become a country that's different from what we've always been. That from the moment you step out of your front door until you return home at night, every moment of your life in public will be recorded, potentially scrutinized, watched.
He says it's often artificial intelligence keeping track, not humans.
Computers that analyze your daily routines, that understand what you're doing, what you're carrying, what you're wearing, who you are, what your attributes are, and filing that away somewhere.
You don't expect privacy on the street corner. So if a camera captures what you're doing in the street corner, I don't think that's an intrusion on privacy.
UCLA law professor Eugene Volokh believes the positives outweigh the negatives.
Makes it easier, for example, to catch criminals. Maybe makes it easier to exonerate people who are falsely accused of crime. May also deter crime. While cameras have their problems, the question is compared to what? Compared to more aggressive police presence, the problems may be less.
Both experts agree the biggest concern is the potential for government tracking its citizens under the guise of crime prevention.
We're seeing some cities.
Now, and it's, damn, here we go again, we're going down. Again, how many of y'all seen movies? What's the name of that movie? With Will Smith that came out in 1999? Him and Gene Hackman. What's the name of that movie that came out with Will Smith and Gene Hackman? When he had the government after him because he witnessed the murder or something. Damn, what's the name of that movie? Yeah, we went from 60 to 52. What's the name of that movie? Damn, and they was using all that technology. Not iRobot. Damn, it had Will Smith and Gene Hackman in there, but they had this technology. Enemy of the state. There you go. Enemy of the state. What they're showing you now is what they told you all the way back in 1999. They already had it, family.
Cities like Chicago putting police cameras all over the city and networking them together. They're also tying in private cameras. In some cases, the Ring cameras are being networked together by Amazon, which takes all the camera feeds and puts them in the cloud, potentially making them available to the authorities.
Part of the solution, experts say, is private citizens asking themselves several questions before installing cameras on personal property. Do you trust the manufacturer who may store images on their own servers? Do you trust the internet? Because any cameras tied to the web are susceptible to being hacked. And
that's important. So any cameras tied to the web, even a camera on your computer, how you know if they're looking at you or not? Even in your TV. They're going to do anything.
Do you trust the government that in many cases can use a warrant to access what your camera captures?
But if you're really worried about that, I think the solution is to make it harder to abuse the cameras and not to stop them altogether.
Nobody's saying that you can stop technology from rolling forward, but you can put some constraints on it, shape how it's deployed so that it comports with our values.
Stanley says that's where lawmakers should step in. He says they need.
Lawmakers can't step in because most of the people don't understand the technology, except for those that's actually using it. So let's go over here. Y'all how New York was averaging 2,600 murders a year, 2,000 murders a year. Damn near 5,000 people shot. They shut New York City down. The whole New York. And New York was the template, the model. Why still in Chicago? when they went to kill FBG Duck, those surveillance cameras in Chicago tracked those young guys coming out of the projects, getting into the car with guns, going to commit a murder, then tracked them in 8 different locations on camera, driving back to the actual hideout. Well, what I'm saying is, if y'all really care about the youth, can we get more streams like this? Maybe from some of you bigger YouTubers? This video is not going to be monetized. I got to put the fair use in because they're going to come after it because I'm not allowed to tell young people this. If it was, they would monetize it, but they're not going to monetize this. I hope they don't take it down, but I know that they're going to raid. How you going? Duh. Look at this technology. You think you still gonna be? You think you still gonna be a blood suit whoop and all that? You think you still gonna be doing this in the street? Are you kidding me? No. That's why when these dudes get caught, they start turning state's evidence and telling right away because behind closed doors, the FBI comes to the lawyer and say, "Yo, this is what we got on your client." He takes that to the client and he be like, "Oh shit, it's over." These kids don't know. They're not watching these kind of videos to see. No, I want all. No, you said you think that is good. The criminals don't know. No, I want young black boys to know about this technology as a deterrent for them to not be in gangs. We all need to know about it. I don't need our open enemy having all the technology to use it in his own way to further criminalize our babies. I need us to understand what you up against. And when you make that decision to want to be in a gang, you can understand all the things that you're up against. That's what I want. They got all the technology, they got everything else, and then they're using it to further criminalize us for their own economic gain. No, I want us to have the technology. I want us to understand.
As soon as a gun comes into frame, Athena, it sends out an alert giving law enforcement the precious time that they need to help save lives.
Athena has detected a gun.
If you take a look, you'll see the entire box is covered with the machine gun.
That's the alert you get the moment AI Athena spots a gun. She's an idea put together by Athena Security. This artificial intelligence can hook up to any security system and camera that can stream in real time. Chris and his team spent years developing the detection software.
We take thousands of images, to about 24,000 images last time I checked. And those images are different backgrounds, different scenes, different places. And then we take a look at all the different angles that you're holding the weapon, down like this, down like that, up like that, whatever it is. And we feed that into the platform. And we teach the computer what to look for.
What sets Athena apart from other systems is its automation and ability to alert police with life-saving information.
What the system's going to do is not only is it going to be able to tell you, hey, something's happening, but when the police arrive, they're going to know where the person is and what's happening. They know the person's face. They know how many people are armed. All this information they didn't have before.
Those cameras do the facial recognition. This thing is, listen, bro, I wish I had 5,000 people in here talking to them with this information, man. Y'all just don't know. I could care less about some gender war shit and all this kind of stuff, man. I wish I had 100 people in here I can get this shit to. This is so important, man. We just don't get it.
Chris says it also helps with human error.
If the human's looking at a screen all day long, they only last maybe an hour, and their eyes get tired. They can never find anything anymore. A computer can do that 24/7 without getting tired.
And it's not just for guns.
Detect fighting, we can detect someone pushing, someone screaming a word like say help or get away from me.
But a system like this is costly. It's $100 per month per camera. He demonstrated the technology to surveillance teams from across the country at the World Game Protection Conference. It's hosted every year in Las Vegas. He's hoping to show the world the potential of an AI security camera.
So the average time it takes someone to actually shoot a weapon and when they pull it out is 30 seconds. And that 30 seconds, you can actually either hopefully talk that person down or get the police and the ambulances there faster and hopefully save lives.
Cassie Molnaric, Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas.
Look, hold on. Let me go over here. Hold on. Wait a minute, not that one. Where is it at? Let's look at where like a lot of this stuff come from, right? Real quick. Now let's look at China real fast. Look at what they're doing in China, right? China is building the world's largest and most sophisticated camera.
现在儿好几次锁起门呢。对，就是这个。
Well, let's see how long it takes you to find me.
China and America is at a race for the best. And I'm gonna show that in a minute. Let me.
Thank you very much. Let's go.
我们可以追溯到说，出现每一张脸都可以对应说他的身份证，以及他所经过，比方说在过去1周，我们回溯他的行经路程，我们也做了像人和车的匹配。那同时在人相匹配还包括亲属关系匹配，然后是你经常接触人员之间匹配。就是当摄像机布到就或者我们传感器布到一定密度的时候，其实我们会经常知道你跟谁经常在一起。
Well, here we are then. I just got out of the car close to the city centre, and for the purposes of this exercise, the plan is for me to start walking in the direction of the bus station. My image has already been flagged to the authorities as a suspect, and in theory, it should only be a matter of time. So already on this bridge, I can see 1, 2, 3 CCTV cameras. Of course, there's no point hiding from them. Just keep on walking.
回来不一定非要从门里头通过，他就站在哎，对，就是这里，就是这里。对，就是这里。
Uh-oh. Right behind me, you can see just over my left shoulder there. Hello, guys. I've been expecting you. Oh, maybe these guys aren't in on the joke.
那么对平民老百姓，是老百姓需要帮助的时候，我们才会录入这套系统。那他不需要帮助的这种情况，那么我们是不需要采集他的信息的。那这种信息只是在我们大数据里面有他的信息就行了。那在什么时候使用，是根据我们的需要来做这项工作的。
If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear.
对，是这样。所以说，老百姓应该不用担心。
Let me pause it real quick. Let me bring this in. Let me bring this in over here real fast. I want y'all to see what's going on because I want to teach the right way. So I want to bring this out, right? Let me bring this in, right? So that way we got 58, we have 60 people in here. I want y'all to see this, right? So that way y'all don't think that I'm just talking out my neck. Now listen, this is an article. This is an article that was written a couple years ago, and I do these streams. Doug, no. Whoever leads in artificial intelligence in 2030 will rule the world into 2100. So there's an arms race to see between China, Russia, and America. A couple years ago, Vladimir Putin warned Russians that the country that led in technologies using artificial intelligence would dominate the globe. He was right to be worried. Russia is now a minor player in the race seems now to be mainly between the United States and China. But don't count out the European Union just yet. The EU is still 5th in the world of economy and has unappreciated strengths. So what I'm saying is this digital battle that's happening that's not being told. Like, man, y'all gotta pay attention to what's going on, man. And all I'm saying is, let me take this back over here. All I'm saying is this kind of technology, this kind of information is not information that's being spread to our people. This is not the information that's being told to our people. And it's not being told for a reason.
所以他们的思路如果不改变，对这么一些意见人士，然后进行监控，可能是起了更大的作用。
Would it worry you to know that your every move, your every association was being watched? Does that change something fundamental?
Honestly, I won't feel very comfortable. There's a certain level of discomfort. First, I think technology by itself is a tool for human being, just like a weapon. If it is in the wrong hands, like in a terrorist's hands, it might do very bad things, right? But government do develop weapons. I think there are reasons that technology keep advancing, like artificial intelligence. It can be applied to do a lot of good things.
All right, so let me go over here to my last video before we get ready. For where we started. I want y'all to see this.
Sorry, on the left-hand side here, you see the alert screen. This is how the alerts are going to pop up on the feed. On the right-hand side, you see the video. We're going to go ahead and play the video. As soon as you see the gun, there it is. On the thermal image, you'll see a pop-up over here of a threat. There it is. We click on that. You'll notice it is labeled, and there's the threat right there. That's how the thermal works. It takes usually between 3 to 5 seconds for it to show up. If you have any questions on the thermal image,
so you can see right here as he's walking through, they got him with the gun. So what I'm saying is they can be riding their car, and they can have those cameras that they showed you in New York City, and they can see you with the gun. They circle the block, wait for some of the crew to walk off, and then just come get you. So what I'm saying, I'm gonna share what I was saying in this live stream here, that it's not a profitable live stream. Like you're not going to get money for doing this kind of stuff, for bringing this information out to the people. You're not even going to get a large audience, unfortunately, from our people. It's kind of like, running the organization Urban Nerds. A lot of stuff outside of the funding I get from the white man, I got to fund it myself. I can't rely on black people to do anything. It's maybe little things here and there, but for the most part, we got to do it on our own. But because I love my people and I'm fighting a good fight to try to wake some of our people up, we come with this type of information to bring awareness. If some of the stuff I put in this video today can make one young kid look at this and say, man, I didn't know it was like that, man. I ain't getting no gang. I don't want to be a part of no gang. Then I know that I did my job. I know that I'm standing on the righteous side of God. Like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm out here trying to be a solution now, trying to help change lives, trying to do the work that's necessary. Because like I said, a lot of our spaces that we use YouTube for, this information is not just being brought. What I notice people do is streams being done after the police locks them up, and then everybody says, I told you so. But going into the future, I'm going to start doing a lot of content on my Urban Nerds channel, really doing stuff with the kids and really getting away from this kind of stuff, because I feel like for 6 years I've been beating a dead horse and just bringing this type of information, but the black community, not everybody, but for the most part, the black community don't want this kind of information. They want the ratchet stuff. So I'm going to go over and start teaching the kids for 2023. The majority of my content is going to be on the Urban Nerds channel, doing information for the kids. I'm really getting away, backing up from this kind of content, because for 6 years it didn't work. I refused to really get into the other stuff like that, in order to build an audience. I want to build an audience based off of urban nerves and bringing awareness to our people and our attention. And I want to stay on what God called me to do in building and teaching. So this type of stream was to bring awareness to young men in the streets that's caught up in criminality and let them know that you already guilty before you even start. They already got you, bro. It's not even worth it. Go get a job, go do something. You don't need to be trying your best to strive and look good for other poor people that don't care nothing about you. They gonna love you while you living in vanity and you got all these material items, but when you get caught, they're gonna turn their back on you. They're not gonna walk with you. You know. And so I enjoy streams like this. Our people are too much on the presence and past and not enough. Yeah, and see, Doug, I'm gonna tell you, I'm glad. Thank you, for these type of streams, but it gets taxing. It gets taxing when you spend years doing it, and the people are not paying attention, and you got to move on to something else because you live and you teaching something that is beneficial, and then it's the next door neighbor is over there on bull crap, and all your people run from where you at to run over there. It's like, what's the point of me? I might as well go talk to the babies. Because the thing is, if me and Brother Marvin, my partner, was to go live and we had 500 people, 1,000 people in the room, and what we teach, and imagine what we can do for urban nerds. But if I'm talking about the black woman or talking down on the black community, and I'm getting 5 and 6, and I'm getting 2,000 and 3,000 a show, and all I'm doing is talking about destruction of the community. But if I'm doing stuff, we doing stuff in the inner city for youth, and we only get 50 to 60 people. And I'm talking about the system, but I got to go to the system to beg for money. What am I supposed to do? So I got in 2023, I got to listen to my wife. I got to start focusing more on the children and building the audience there where we can generate money in a production company to do more for urban nerds, because the adults in the black community are not concerned with this kind of content. I mean, and when I'm still going to do it, but just not as much. Just not as much, I see. So I try to get this type of, it's hard to get people, and I've been doing it for so long, So let's see, I'm in position to change careers from electricians, physical means. What would you suggest as a further career? Man, an electrician is a hell of a career, bro. I wish that we can get some of our children in our STEM program over to work with brothers like you that can teach them how to actually work with electricity and work with things where maybe they can work with these trades. And instead of going into a gang, they can create their own jobs. They can create their own opportunities. And if we gave more of our attention to more platforms, not just me, because there's plenty of brothers and sisters that's talking like me. But when you go in there, it's like 40, 50, no more than 80 people in the room. How can the black community, how can we come in these spaces and complain about the black man and black woman, but we don't support the people that's doing the work? So I'm going to be focused more on this. Let me go over here real quick. More, let me go here real fast. We'll be doing more content over here going forward. Let's see. And matter of fact, hold on for a second. Let me do. Let me bring it over here real quick on the big screen. Let me share my screen one more time. Yeah, we're gonna be doing. I'm be doing a lot more content because we really didn't do a lot of content working with these kids, but a lot of my focus in 2023 is going to be going towards the babies.
Nourish on.
To really bring this type of.
He was born in Kentucky in 1877. In 1914, Garrett invented what is known as the gas mask. In 1923, Garrett Morgan invented the first traffic signal.
And what I noticed was I got 1,000 subs on this channel, and I haven't really been putting up any content on it like that. So I'm going to really get into more of focusing on the aspects of doing this kind of work with the children, because I think that that's what my calling is. It's not really in.
Historian is when I forgot.
You forgot. A historian is somebody that understands history from the past and they're able to relay it to the present. They're able to tell you things that happen, events, and things like that. To, like I said, it's part of the culture. It's part of the culture. It's part of your history. It's letting you know. So if my nephew, but this is the kind of work that we do offline with the children in the community, bringing them in, reading history, and doing the STEM, taking them on trips. Let me see. This was one of the joints I did. I think I did this like a year ago.
To computers. Dean's groundbreaking work didn't stop there. His work led to the development of the color PC monitor. And in 1999, Dean led a team of engineers at IBM to create the first gigahertz chips, a revolutionary piece of technology that is able.
So what I'm saying is that's the this is what I think I need. I'm going to focus. Me and Marvin is going to focus on going forward, doing more of that kind of work to bring information. Let's see what I had here. I don't even remember. Darn thing spins so much. It takes so darn long. I don't know what's up with my bandwidth. Damn, it's still spinning.
Global. A black man invented ice cream.
Hold on. No, not that video. I don't even know. Let's see. And all that kind of stuff. We come from great people. But we need to know that we come from great people so we can begin to duplicate. All right? So, let me share. I just want to just say that I want to focus more on bringing information to the children and doing that, and maybe building an audience there and bringing in black professionals that's more focused. I think I spent more of my time trying to build an audience over on the George Megan Experience channel that I neglected some of the work that I could have been doing with the children more. And I think that that's what my calling is. Some people can go and have big audiences in the other spaces, but I learned what I have learned in these spaces is, as a black man, when you lead as a married man with your family and your children, because a lot of people say that they want to clean up the black community, they want family, they want this, but when you give it to them, they don't respond to it. So I have to learn to reinvent it and come another way, because my mission is to get black boys to understand the importance of fatherhood, the importance of family, the importance of development, the importance of all these different things. And in order for me to get the attention, maybe I got to come the Urban Nerds way. For 2 years, I tried to do it the other way. And the black community is more focused on with the stuff that's maybe Cynthia G and the pink pill and the manosphere people are talking about, as opposed to black people in the communities that we come from that's really doing the work. There's thousands of channels out there of decent black people, but nobody cares. We say that we care out of our mouth. So, we have to start funding our own situations, our own stuff. Hold on for a second. We have to start funding our own stuff. We can't keep relying on going to the white man to get everything. So when we do these type of streams, the reason why I'm talking in this manner, because in my community and in the greater community, Urban Nerds need the support of the people. STEM, you said STEM won't be viable they'll be the bottom line. In fact, they already are, right? And that's why people like me and Q Butter, we talk about these things. We let me see something. Let me see if I got my pictures up here real quick when we talk about this kind of stuff. Where you at, Q? I know I was at the school. I mean, I got pictures of me. I think I might erase them. Did I? We were up at the school. Yep, I ain't got them in here. God damn it. We were up at the school with Q Butter. And you know, that's another brother that's working and you know, to do his thing, to do the things that he need to do to get the kids in better positions. You know, we got to get our kids there. So it's a work. It's work. It's going to take a lot of work. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Hold on. Let me do this. Oops. Let me do it this way. This was us with some of the kids at the Black Wax Museum, and we got them. We got them as young as little people all the way up to about 25 that we work with in the organization. Like I said, I got military guys with me that I'm cool with, black police officers that I'm cool with. All this stuff is stuff that I do online that I got so much stuff in the bag that I haven't even posted up that I need to show more of. But we need we was doing these videos.
Hit it. I got something for y'all.
Whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing?
They just stepped on me.
Listen, what are you doing with that gun?
I'm not gonna shoot.
That's not the way, young brother. I need you to think right now. You go down there and you pull that trigger. Man, listen, that can cost you your life. You go to jail for the rest of your life.
If I don't go down there right now, they're gonna think I'm a punk.
Man, who cares, man? I thought you was down with urban nerves, man. I thought you was changing your life. You want to be like the real niggas out here, or you want to be different? You want to be set apart? You want to go to jail for the rest of your life? You already don't have your father. Your brother was murdered. What else do you want? You got a choice to make. You need to make the choice right now. You want to be a real nigga, or you want to change your life and be an upstanding black man. Let's go, man. You're not going down there with them.
We do. I got a couple of these videos in the chamber some stuff that I didn't even put up. What's up, young blood?
What's up?
I don't know, when you ready to get down with the team. You know what team, man. When you ready to get this package, man, stop playing.
What package?
Man, you know what I'm talking about, man. You down with who you down with?
Urban Nerds.
Urban Nerds. Is Urban Nerds gonna get you them new Jordans? Is Urban Nerds gonna get you them big booty girls? Is Urban Nerds gonna get you that car your homie just brought? You getting down with us or what, man?
You getting down with Urban Nerds. You know what? My dad told me about people like you.
He told you what?
He said if I get caught selling dope or shooting someone, I'm gonna go to jail or end up dead.
So what, you scared? You live in the hood anyway.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay, I'm down with Urban Nerds.
That's just some of the stuff. That's just some of the stuff that we actually gonna start unveiling even more coming into the year 2023, focusing more on that rather than a lot of this other stuff. So you guys can look forward to that coming. But I'm a cool. Let me see. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. The live stream now. I want to thank everybody for coming in that supports Urban Nerd, supports George Macon and my mission and what I'm trying to do to let Black people know that it's possible to. You don't have to be a bad bitch or a real nigga. You don't have to be a baby mom and be a baby daddy with a bunch of kids. You don't have to have a hood mentality. You don't have to have none of that. It's possible to be prosperous. It's possible to love your brother. It's possible to love your sister. It's possible to not have a poverty mind state. You don't have to follow behind the footsteps or make the mistakes that your parents made. You may look like your father, but you are not your father's decisions. You are not your mother's decisions. You don't have to come on to YouTube every day and use YouTube as your therapy, where you come on and you accuse black women or black men for everything that happened bad to you in your own life. That don't have to be you. You don't have to get into these spaces where you have black men and black women making $60,000 and $50,000 a month to just cater to your pain and your emotions with no solution to actually help us. A lot of you are hurt people looking for somebody to love you. You looking to be loved on, and in that you being taken advantage of by people in these spaces and these places. And that don't have to be you. You can have different. You can want different. You can do different. You can manifest different things. See, let me bring this down. That don't have to be you. We got to stop believing. We got to stop believing the lie. We got to stop believing the lie. You ain't niggas. You ain't bad bitches. You ain't none of that. You're not what they said that you were. You are something greater than all of that. And when you start believing in that, you'll start manifesting the right things. You'll start going into spaces that's actually exhibits pro-social behavior, that exhibits you growth, not you walking around in pain and anger. People speaking to your pain, but they're keeping you there. There's no valuable, proper solution. You in spaces where they tell you to hate the black men, but you got 3 black sons. You in spaces where they tell you to hate the black woman, but you got black daughters. No solutions, no nation building, nothing. This is what we've been conditioned to see ourselves at and what we manifest every day. YouTube has become therapeutic for our pain. And that's not the space, the place. So if we want to be able to use these channels as weapons for upliftment, then we got to change the way that we think. Everything in the black community ain't the black man's fault or black woman's fault. It's a collective. I'm going to say this. 10 more minutes. I got 10 minutes. I'm going to say this. Casual sex is what's destroying the black community, Doug. Casual sex. We've been conditioned in our communities to view masculinity as something but as the head, from the head below the belly button and not above the waist. Too many times you hear black women say that if a man can't sex me right, he can't be with me. He can't. It's never about his ability to produce based off his production in his environment. Too many times black men been taught to believe that their masculinity is how good they can sex a woman, not their ability to produce, not their ability to use their intellect and logic to understand the sacrifice and commitment it will take to build societies, to produce. As black men and black women, the way we've been trained to pick mates is not conducive to raising young men to meet the standards that a community will have in him to build. The expectations that black women naturally have in men to protect, direct, and correct, those boys are not being raised that way. And it's a direct reflection of how the mother and father vet and pick each other. We are still operating like we're on a slave plantation, indulging in just casual sex with no accountability. And we are producing young men that will never, ever, ever meet the expectations that the women have in them to produce direct and correct. So when you come in these spaces, all you see is a bunch of people in pain and no accountability. because those men were never properly raised to be men, to meet expectations. And those women was never properly raised to vet or even understand what masculinity and manhood is. They did it based off of sexual prowess. This is what's going on in our community. So now you go over and give your spirituality, meaning time, to channels that does nothing but play to your pain and your unresolved emotions. Too many times we hear guys talk about how they sexed a woman, but he hasn't worked with his brother to build anything in the community. In the black community, we're being gentrified out. The black man has no power because the black man has been taught to view power, the power between his legs, and not from the head above this neck. His ability to produce. To the point in black communities, you have a lot of black men living with black women, driving their cars, living in their homes, living off of them, because she's been taught and trained to believe that he can't give her nothing but some powerful dick, and she'll take care of the rest. All the way from the days of Big Mama. And this is the state and the mentality of the black community. And when you don't have people articulating this, explaining this in the manner in which it should, you have these other places that's able to basically make money off of us. You need to reevaluate. Look at your own life, people that's watching me now. How many baby fathers do you have? How did you pick your baby fathers? This is not a jab at the black woman. I'm teaching. I'm in bishop mode. How did you select your partners? Black man. How did you vet your partners? I asked the 45 people watching me right now. I'll ask you that's watching me right now. What is the standard for the black man or black boys? How high is the bar set for black boys in the community that we come from? What is the standard? Huh? How high is the bar set for a young black man to impregnate you, black woman? How high is the bar set for the young black man the way he view himself and the woman that he would choose to put his seed in? How high is the bar set for a young black man the way he view himself to actually want to build and protect the community he comes from? These are the conversations that don't nobody want to have, because it will force you to take accountability for your own choices and actions. And it would take power away from these people in these places that's using you as pawns for money to cater to your emotions. These are the questions that we got to ask ourselves, and be honest with yourself. How many people taught young black boys to have standards and have high bars set for themselves? As a black man, if I stand before you and say, hey, I don't like hair weaves, or I like a woman that's conscious about her weight. I like a woman that's nice. I like a woman that when I look at her, I look at how people view her as well. When her interactions with people, I look at her family and dynamic. I look at all these different things, because I'm the man that's going to have to eat her food. I'm the man that's going to have to lay with this woman and walk with this woman for the rest of my life. I'm the man that's going to put my children in this woman. So I need to have high standards for myself and for the woman that I vet and choose as a man. I have to have those standards. We're not raising black boys to think this way, family. These are not the things that's being downloaded into young men. And because men are the standard setters, we're creating communities that's in disarray and dysfunctional, to the point where women don't even know how to use discernment to pick a right masculine man. Your masculinity is your ability to produce based off the environment that you've been placed in, that others and you can benefit from. Not who got the biggest dick in the room or the loudest mouth. And I'm asking those that's watching me, as black men and black women, are we coming together before we make a child to produce that type of young man that will be able to problem solve the issues that we have in our communities? Are we producing those type of boys into men? I think we all know the answer. So when we can articulate and break this down, how do we all of a sudden start pointing the fingers? When inside of the house of dysfunction, there's 3 rooms. And in that room is either a mother and father, or maybe a single mother, especially in the black community. And the middle room is the sister, and the back room is the brother. And they're all growing up under a dysfunctional condition way of thinking, to the point where we all walk around and we just throw our coochies and dicks on a crap table or the roulette wheel and spin it and let the chips fall where they may. Never ever thinking about sacrifice and commitment and legacy, and the children that's coming behind us, the seeds we planted, and what the harvest will be, because we're still operating and thinking like we're on the plantation. And it can't be my fault. It got to be somebody else's fault. It got to be the black woman's fault. It got to be the black man's fault. But when we all just stop and take inventory of stuff and look at what we've been conditioned to believe, what we thought was cool, what we thought is sexy, we're going to have to renew our minds to come into the kingdom, man. There's going to have to be a renewal of the minds. We're going to have to clean up our homes, clean up our houses. Look at the way we carry on at YouTube. We don't even know these people, never met them a day in our life. But we come into these spaces every single day with the same conversation. And these channels got 1,500, 2,000 viewers at the same time. All saying, yeah, girl, yeah, homie, yeah, get them. And then the people that's trying to show something different, they come on here and they got 43 people watching. So I think I know what I'm talking about when I'm saying what I'm saying. That's it. Yeah. We need to do some reevaluation on what we think is cool, on what we believe is decent, on what we've been conditioned to love. We normalize the unnormal. That's not normal. It's not normal for us to be growing up in these inner cities and watching black boys blow each other away and say that they're demons. It's not normal. It's not normal. It's not normal to have 4 and 5 babies by five baby fathers and you're not with none of the men. That's not normal. That's not okay. It's not normal to be walking around. Most of our communities are overweight, dying of high blood pressure and diabetes and erectile dysfunction, and women getting all kinds of cancers from chemicals in their hair, and it's not normal. But when you got the audacity to speak on it, you get ridiculed by your own people. But those same people will come online and justify verbally crucifying black men or verbally crucifying each other online. But if he starts talking about standards and having a higher standard to produce better children, oh, that George Macon think he better than somebody. Who the hell he think he is talking about black women? Who the hell this nigga think he is talking about the black man? But it's okay for me to come on here and verbally crucify somebody. But when you're talking in things of higher standard and want to do better and be better in black YouTube, that's illegal. That's illegal. When are we going to start having higher standards for ourselves and not seeing ourselves as niggas? You are not who they said you were. So I say this in closing. Remember, I love my people more than they hate themselves. And I pray to the universal creator Most High that these words are enough to inspire you. These words are enough to make you see yourself in the mirror and make change. These words are enough to make you look at your children and know you have to make change. I hope that when you came here for information, and when you leave here greater than what you was before you came. You leave here edified. I hope that you share this information on all the social media mechanisms that we use to get the message across. Listen, black woman, your poop stink just like the black man's. Black man, so does yours. None of us are above criticism. Think about the decisions you made in choosing to make and why you made them. And were they righteous and exact? I guarantee you, I'll stand on it. No. Because the bar is set very low. And most of our women are unprotected and neglected growing up. A lot of them are molested before the age of 16. So their idea of picking a mate is already off. A lot of men, young boys, are molested and misdirected. So their idea of protection for a community of women is already off. And this is why the negative spaces in Black YouTube flourishes. And the spaces that's here to teach us, they go non-existent. Or they end up leaving the Black community. Here I am running an organization. I'm going to be 100% honest with you and transparent. Here I am running an organization that's super pro-Black. But I got to go to the white man to get funded to serve my children. Because the majority of my people is in spaces that deals with drama and trauma. I can't come into these spaces and showcase what I do and get support from my people. I have to pull a Kevin Samuels or a Cynthia G move, or go to the white man and beg. I can't keep funding it all myself, but I'm going to keep doing what God called me to do, and that's do the work for these babies. That's what I'm going to keep doing, because I know that the Most High will work it out. But I had these conversations to bring attention and awareness to our people, to let us know how we should be moving. You say you want reparations, then we have to become a unified front. And we have to stand on that. We have to stand on that. Think about who you give your time to and your energy to, and what you're not giving your time and energy to. And that right there should tell you, be honest with yourself. You ain't got to answer it to George. Answer it to yourself. You ain't got to lie to me. But you can't continue to keep lying to yourself, because the Black community in these Black YouTube spaces reflect it. Remember, I love y'all. To the next time, peace.